journey from this point forward. As of yesterday, January the 6th, 2025, I have decided to file Chapter 7 bankruptcy, and I'll go into the reasons why in another video, but I just wanted to kind of document the journey, the process. I am currently a resident of the state of Florida, and so this will be specific to my process here with the attorney that I have selected here in the Tampa Bay, Florida area. Yeah, so this shall be very interesting. The reason why I decided to make this video right in this moment as I was driving is because I began to think about my monthly expenses. I have a bill tracker. I've had a bill tracker for several years, and the thought of not paying my upcoming bills creates a lot of anxiety for me, for a lot of reasons, because I pride myself in paying my bills on time, monthly. My credit score is not great right now because of my utilization. It is not because of really anything else, specifically not the payment history. So I was thinking about the anxiety of the upcoming bills, because I get paid monthly. I have for the last 2.5 years, and so typically around this time I would have pretty much paid all my bills for the month, but because I have made the decision to, and I do apologize, I'm driving, so I'm not looking at the camera, but since I made the decision to file Chapter 7, I will not be paying any further credit card bills, specifically any revolving accounts, anything that I have. And two of those things I was very close to paying off, and I was told not to pay any of that. So wish me luck. This should be an interesting experience. Again, I'll talk about in another video why I decided to do this. It was something, I've processed it for a couple weeks maybe now. Did a little bit of research on my favorite TikTok university. And then again, I had a consult yesterday with an attorney of someone that I know personally that utilized their services a few years back. So that is my decision. I don't speak a lot about finances, so it may come as a surprise to some. It actually comes as a surprise to me. I think that historically bankruptcy is, I'm not going to say taboo, but kind of taboo. But if you take some time and look around, especially on social media, a lot of people will talk about and share their experiences, and it's not as taboo as you think. I think it is, from my understanding, is more common than what we think it is. And so I just wanted to kind of talk, and this is me being in full transparency. I don't think I've been this transparent. Okay, they almost collided with that car. But especially as it relates to finance, because a lot of people, they don't like people in their financial business. But let me just share the purpose of me sharing this is not just putting my business out there. Really, I don't care. There's no one that has assisted me in any period of time in covering my monthly expenses, and so I don't feel like it's necessarily anybody's business. But as the people that shared, that I was able to find their experience, I do feel that it could be helpful, and so that's the reason I'm sharing. The whole purpose of me sharing anything on social media is so that somebody can benefit from the information. That's simply that. So thank you for listening. I probably won't post this for a while, but just wanted to at least record it so that I can begin to process verbally this journey. All right, peace. Hey y'all, hey, this is Jay, and again, trying to keep track and oh, my dishwasher is going, forgot about that, but trying to document this bankruptcy journey. So yesterday I completed the majority of the questionnaire using Upsolve. Again, this is Upsolve Chapter 7, and I had like a couple questions that I was not 100% sure about, so I had to wait until business hours to contact those folks. It was related to my beneficiary on my life insurance policy, and then also I needed some access to a couple pay stubs to make sure I had the right gross income. So I didn't realize that I could have went ahead and took the credit course. I thought that I submitted the documents for review to Upsall first, but I was out of turn. So I am just paid for the course, $14.95 for the first course. I thought it was the other way around, but anyway, $14.95. I just paid for the course. There's an option to do like an upgrade and have like video versus reading. I think that's an additional $19.95. You can also get a copy of your certificate mailed for an additional $19.95. Not interested in either of those. I can take it via email, and I'll just sit here and read this. Okay, $14.95. It says it takes about 60 minutes. It's 3:37. We'll see how it goes. Bye. Hello. Today is February the 3rd, 2025. It is a Monday, and I recorded a video earlier. I do apologize. I am extremely drained. It has been a long day. But I did complete my questionnaire on Upsall, and I completed the credit course process, got my certificate, uploaded that, and then I had to review my forms. I did notice a couple of things that need to be changed, but I'm not quite sure how I need to change it. So I just went ahead and kind of went through, and now my documents are up for review. So again, today's Monday, February the 3rd, 2025. I know it says it can take up to 2 weeks. I'm very, very hopeful it doesn't take that long, because as we all know, this is very time sensitive. So yeah, I'm gonna try to stay on them because we want to get this put in. But yeah, just wanted to give that quick update, and I will keep you guys posted. All right, I'm back. So I wasn't able to take my phone or my smart watch. I what is it called? Apple Watch into the courthouse. Didn't know that. I don't know if that's a federal thing now. I've been to some like courthouses and you can take them, or they have lockers. They said they didn't have lockers. I saw lockers on the way out, but I'm assuming that's for attorneys only. Clearly she's not an attorney. But anywho, so I went back and I just dropped off everything with the exception of my wallet and my car keys. So I'm like, I don't want to have any issues. So I'm driving back now. So I'm going to give a quick update. So when I presented the documents, the gentleman looked at me as if I was kind of confused, or if he was confused, because I said, I'm here to file. It's a bankruptcy court. What else am I filing? For child support? Like, anyhow, so I gave them the documents, and this is 10 minutes prior to them closing. I got the times mixed up. I thought they closed at 4:30, but they actually closed at 4. So maybe that been some of his reason, I don't know. But he looked over all the documents, and he sat at his desk, and he said to me, do you know that you have one form, I don't know, 106A/B or something. I'm like, one of them, which again, he's across from me, I can't see the document. It didn't seem like he was going to come bring it to me to know which one. I'm not knowledgeable about the form, sir. I mean, I completed them, I've looked over them several times, but I don't know the form numbers. Don't know. But anyhow, I said there was one, a couple of them that may have had duplicate pages. Maybe there was the debtors that were listed, the assets, I don't know. And he said, okay, I'll just file both of them. It won't hurt. I said, okay. He'll just scan both of them. He won't hurt. I said, okay. So he proceeded to do his thing. He said, looks like you have everything here. I said, that's great news. He said, yeah, it is. And a couple of things that I was not aware of. I probably was aware. The bankruptcy attorney that I consulted with probably told me this. I did select a 3 installment payment. I don't know why I didn't do 4. I just wanted this thing to be over before, long. I guess it makes sense now. That makes sense. But anyhow, I chose the 3 installment payment. They only accept money orders, cashier's check, and attorney firm checks or something like that. And I had cash on me and a debit card. So he said I didn't have to pay anything today anyway. I asked him what the next steps were, and he did give me my case number. He gave me back I think one of the first forms, and he stamped it with the case number, I guess with the date and all of that. And he said that the next steps would be I would receive something via U.S. mail within 30 days regarding my trustee meeting. And if nothing else is needed, which I'm sure they'll need some documents, because I didn't present. Only thing I presented was 2 pay stubs, and it was for December and January. It's now February. I didn't include that. I forgot to update that. So of course, they're going to need some other supporting documents, so they'll ask for things. And once, you know, they've received everything, he said that I should get a notice via mail that I've been discharged, or that, you know, it has been discharged. So the other step that I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to discharge the student loans. I got to do a lot more research on that, but I did see, and I think actually in the Upsolve Facebook group, that is possible. So I have over $100 and I think $25,000 worth of student loans. So if that's a possibility, I'm going to try it. So I'm hoping that me filing today, I think from what I understand, most people filed after or submitted that process after. I'll find out, and that is my next step. So I'll just wait. But today is Wednesday, February the 12th, and I filed today. And I had given myself a deadline of 2/1. That was not reasonable. And then once I realized that, I said, I'm sorry, my nose is itching. Once I realized that, I gave myself that 2/1 deadline that weekend to at least get all the documents completed. And then, of course, I needed a couple questions answered before I submitted for review on the Upsolve website. And I did that last Monday. Today, again, is Wednesday. I got my clear to print or whatever. I had to make a couple of changes and then generate my packet, and I printed it today, all 93 pages. I did not print me a copy. If I need to, I will later. My printer gave me so many issues today, but I worked through it. I had to, yeah. So anyhow, that's that. I just want to give you guys an update, and I'll come back when I hear more. Bye, y'all. Hey, this is Jay, and I wanted to give a quick update regarding the Chapter 7 bankruptcy process. So I don't know where I left off at, but on 3/11, I was actually, prior to 3/11, I was informed via mail that I had my creditors meeting, my 341 meeting, scheduled for tomorrow, March the 11th. And so in that process, one of the things that was mentioned throughout paperwork was to have my second financial course completed prior to that meeting. So I did that last week. That was, I believe, $9.99 or $9.95 on debtors.edu or something like that. I don't know. Whatever the recommended was on, the recommended website was on Upsolve. So I did that and saved my certificate because I wasn't able to print it out. And I was told to file that with the local bankruptcy court. So I plan to do that on Wednesday because I'll be going in to make my first installment of $76. They didn't go with the suggested schedule. So it's actually better for me because it's going to be less that I owe initially. And then the second payment will be $76. And then the last payment will be whatever the remaining balance is, which is over $100. So I'll do that on Wednesday, and I'll also file my second financial management course certificate, and on this Wednesday, which is the 12th. So on 3/5, I was like, wait, I haven't heard from the trustee's office, and I saw someone post in the Upsolve Facebook group saying to contact the trustee if you haven't heard from them. Again, my scheduled meeting is 3/11, it's 3/5. So I called and I was informed that they sent out an email. I did not receive that email, so she resent it and I did receive it, and it was requesting all the documents. So 60 days prior to filing pay stubs, in addition to the next pay stub after filing, most recent bank statements, I think it might have been 90 days before filing. Please don't quote me on this. 90 days before filing, and I should know this because I've been working on it for 2 days. 90 days before filing, and that's all accounts. So that's, checking, savings, any PayPal, Venmo, Cash App accounts. So, and it says it also needs to show the available balance as of the filing date, which my filing date was 2/12. So on 3/5, I was out of the state and didn't have access to my documents and or a printer. And so That's crazy. And so I'm sorry, I just got a text message and it threw me completely off because it makes no sense to me. But anyhow, so like I said, I finished my second financial management course last week, and when I returned home on 3/7, I started gathering my documents, some of which I had already like kind of saved the files so that all I had to do was print it out. So last night, which was Sunday the 9th, I attempted to upload, or I did upload all of the documents. At the time, it was 93 pages, and I realized, not thinking at like almost midnight that the file would be too large. So I pretty much gave up. I'm like, it's time to go to bed. I'll try again in the morning. I set an alarm for 7 a.m. So let me back up. When I spoke with the office representative on the 5th, she told me, well, the letter or the email said that I needed to have all of my documents in by 3/7, which was Friday. That was not possible. That just wasn't possible. I was out of state, and I didn't return until late Friday. So she asked me to just get it in by Monday because, again, my meeting is scheduled for tomorrow, which is the 11th. So that's why I was trying to be diligent and get those documents in before actual Monday. She didn't specify a time, but my goal was to have it in there before it started business. So I got up this morning and realized that I hadn't uploaded all of the documents. It was actually 109 pages that should have been uploaded. And so I did that in 6 parts because my scanner is, I don't know, about 21 pages or 22 pages is about the max before it starts jamming. So I did that in 6 parts, and I emailed that today. I think the last one was sent before 8:30 a.m. I contacted the trustee's office, and the actual trustee answered the phone, and I just asked him to confirm whether or not they received the documents. He said that he did, but of course he hadn't had time to review them. It had only been a couple of hours, and that if there's anything that's needed, he will let me know tomorrow during my meeting. So tomorrow is my 341 meeting, March the 11th. Again, I filed on 2/12/25. I am in the state of Florida. I do have a local bankruptcy court within, I would say, a 30-mile radius of my home. So I was able to go and do everything in person versus having to mail it and wait for confirmation. So, yeah, so that's where we're at. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I did get correspondence on 226 that my phone number was missing. I contacted the bankruptcy court, and he told me that it was very small and to disregard that. So then I received correspondence about my 341 meeting. So that's where we're at. I will come back tomorrow. Hopefully it's not too much. They say it's only like 10 minutes. I'll come back within the next couple of days and give an update of how that went. Okay, bye. All right, so while I'm laying here, I just completed my 341 creditors meeting. It was on Zoom, and everyone, I guess, that was on the docket was in the room. I think I might have been second to the last. I'm not sure. Most of the people had an attorney. I was the only one that didn't, and the trustee did ask if I received any legal advice. I told them that I use Upsolve. One of their standard questions is, did you read the bankruptcy information sheet? Which I Googled that because I heard him ask somebody else that I had never seen that. And then if I understood like my schedules, if I understood the documents, and he asked that twice. I don't know why. I guess because I didn't have an attorney or what have you. But yeah, so he asked how I ended up in this basically financial situation, what my employment was, if I had any property or like vehicles or real estate that I had transferred in the last year or sold. If I confirmed that I only had the one vehicle, which most everybody else had a payment, my car is paid for. So of course I'm going to keep my car. What else did he ask? That the tax returns that I submitted are accurate to the best of my knowledge. And that's kind of it. It was pretty short. I would say like less than 5 minutes. So yeah. And then he just says at the end that the meeting is now complete and I can hang up. So we will see. Hey y'all, hey, this is Jay, and today is Tuesday, March the 18th, and just wanted to give a quick bankruptcy chapter 7 update. I had my meeting of the creditors, or also known as the 341 meeting, last Tuesday, the 11th. And on the 12th, I went in to file my second financial management course certificate, and to also pay my first installment of $76. I see both of those on Upsolve as updates. And then also, I think on the 13th, the 12th or the 13th, there's a kind of a message from the trustee talking about like all the debts and all that stuff, that his part and his request to be discharged as trustee. Something in there that's kind of odd. It talks about like the full amount that's to be discharged, and that amount includes my student loans. So my plan is to do the adversary, that whole student loan thing, this week. But for whatever reason, that full balance, it includes my student loans. So that's kind of confusing for me, because I have student loans and I have credit card debt upwards of $150,000. So that's why this bankruptcy is very important, to give me a clean, fresh start. But just wanted to give that quick update. I have 2 more payments, and I plan to submit that 15-page document for the student loan process, discharge process. So we'll see how it goes. Bye. All right, so I realized I haven't given a bankruptcy update in a while. Today is May the 7th, 2025. And in an hour, I have a call scheduled with an attorney to assist me with the student loan adversary process. I did a free consultation with her maybe about a month ago, and when I showed her my complaint, she laughed. So she suggested that I book a 1-hour call with her, equals $300. And of course, I hustled my way to figure out how to make that happen. And so I booked it last week, and so it's today at 12. I had to send over, she asked for my bankruptcy documents, like any assets. So I sent her my title to my vehicle. She asked for the Kelly Blue Book on that. She asked for the last 3 months of pay stubs, bank statements, and hold on. Pay stubs, bank statements. I feel like it was something else too. The attestation form, which I had already completed, that I'm going to probably redo because some things have changed, and student loan, student data from like the, forgot that website, but it shows like, it's like probably hundreds of pages depending on your student loan debt. From student, I think it's called student data or something. It's some website that it pulls up like all of your history about your student loans. So anyway, so I had to send her that, which I already had that because I knew that was a part of the process. So some of the stuff I had already kind of done on my own. The main thing is just I need assistance with this complaint, because I need, I have over $120,000 worth of student loan debt. So $300 investment, I feel like is worth it if it gives me a chance of having either my student loans discharged completely, partially, at least to be considered. So that's where we're at. I will come back with an update. Also, according to my initial like paperwork, my bankruptcy, I believe, should be probably discharged in the next little bit. I made my last payment. I don't know why they split it up this way, but I think it's $183. I think I paid this Friday, which is 2 days from now. So we will see. Bye. So today is Wednesday, May the 14th, and I filed my complaint for my adversary proceeding. I'm sorry, I just came from outside. I'm hot. On Friday, what's today, the 14th, so 16, like the 9th, I believe it was, May the 9th. And I got my summons in the mail today. So I have to serve 5 separate parties. And I will do that tomorrow. So I have to read over all of this. Yeah, so I will be getting it served tomorrow. Yep, bye.